Okay, so welcome. Ken's here, and Ken was just telling me a story. And the last thing he said was, every story has two sides, or what was...
I mean, everything has flip side of the coin, two sides, you know.
Exactly. There's a
Yeah.
flip side to everything or something. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a couple different expressions that do that. Well, that was a great introduction, and you don't know it, to our class today.
Oh, really?
Because I actually have... Today's class is about core values, okay? And core values we're going to focus with at work. However, it can affect your daily life and you as a person, etc. However, I've added some fun phrases, if I can say that, into the presentation today. So you'll have to guess what some of them mean since you're all alone today.
Okay.
So basically, that's it. We can jump right into this as it's time to start class anyway. And where is it? One moment. Now, yes. Okay, core values, and we'll share. Okay, so good. So you don't see anything on the screen except for the title here, so that's perfect. But I do have a question. What do you understand about core values? What's the first thing that comes to your head? Do you know what core values are? Do you know what they represent?
I'm kind of maybe fundamental value or essential value.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but
okay, that's okay.
yeah. In other words.
No, that's fine. I mean, in general, that's fine. I have something written here. Core values represent the deep thoughts or ideas, the highest priorities, or the qualities of a person. Basically, if you want to think of it in easier words, morals and what they believe in. That's all. So it's basically what comes from inside a person. We all, have our specific traits or characteristics. And so this is part of it. So it's really, it goes down to the base of us and what kind of person we really are. Because there are some not very nice people in the world, and they don't have very good morals, okay, for example. So they hurt people. And then we have the complete opposite of very gentle people who help and are very patient, and then we have everything in the middle. So I'm in the middle. I'm not. It depends on the day. But it's really truly what you believe in. And I think my parents did a really good job with me and my brothers. We've always known right from wrong. But you have to experiment in life, I think, as well. And then decide yes or no of what you want to continue with. That's basically that. Do you have any comments? Is this kind of what you were thinking?
I think you're honest, because you said you're,
Nice.
yeah, it it is said, how can I say? Somebody said I'm always right, or I don't tell a lie. Maybe that's a lie or something like that.
It
so
probably is.
yeah, humor is a somewhat contradicted existence. So the site I introduced, such kind of humor, how can I say, irrational something is happening. Yeah. So some people doesn't have a morale, so some people has, and many people has and have not, and sometimes hasn't.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I think listening to your comment, I thought, oh, you're honest. You're honest person.
Well, I mean, I was we say sheltered in English. My parents sheltered us. We were very overprotected as children because my parents had to work. Both of my parents worked, and at a young age, I had to go home with my brothers and stay there. We would have to eat a snack after school and do our homework before my parents got home. So there were very high expectations of us at a very young age in order to be responsible.
I see.
And so I think that, coming from that childhood of you have to be responsible, and like there was some things that were just like, whoa, never in my life could I imagine myself drinking a beer, and now I love beer. I mean, it doesn't need to be bad. I'm not an alcoholic. I enjoy drinking non-alcoholic beer as well. It's just the taste that I enjoy. But as I was underage, I drank, as everyone, I shouldn't say everyone, the majority, I think, of people in the United States drink before they're 21 years old.
Thank you.
It's just one of those things, and you have to try things, and then, like I said, later you have to decide, yes, I'm going to do this. No, I'm not going to. We all make mistakes. We all learn from everything in life. And I don't think that experimenting is a negative thing, unless you're putting yourself into a very unsafe situation. And that I've always been sure not to do. So, like I said, but there's that story too of two kids, maybe they're brother, sister, maybe they're twins, whatever, that let's say the dad or mother is an alcoholic, and then one child grows up to be an alcoholic and the other doesn't. And both of them say, I saw one of my parents growing up, and that's how I decided my future. But one became the alcoholic and the other didn't. And so one said, well, this is normal. I'm going to continue down this road. And the other one said, this is completely opposite of what I want for my life. I'm not going to do it. So everyone takes what they want. Some people think, oh, my father is an alcoholic. It's just, I'm going to be alcoholic too. And it's okay if I drink every day, all day. They're accepting that, and that's not correct. So this is that really bad side that I'm talking about. I am going to mention that being addicted to something is a disease as well. So there are other situations. But if you're accepting the fact that, no, I'm just going to be an alcoholic or an addict for the rest of my life, period, that's it, there's nothing better out there for me, that's not correct. If it's a disease, it's a different situation. And I'm sure Thomas would have lots of words for us about this topic. But but yes, and the opposite side of this, to me, I think of a nun, a very old woman teacher who's just caring and is so patient. And I think, will I ever get to that point of being so patient? No, it's okay. Continue. Especially working with young children, I don't know if I'm not that kind of teacher. So, like I said, I'm a bit in the middle, but my morals are good. I know what's right from wrong, and my parents did a really good job with that. So, and Ken, I'm pretty sure your parents did too. So, I mean, you obviously seem very honest and very, a lot more patient than me, I would say. So, do you have any comments about this?
Yeah, I think my parents also has some core values of their life, or the philosophy of their life. Also, their generation experienced a lot of hardship, which my generation didn't have. So sometimes when I was younger, when I was a kid, I couldn't understand, that such difference. But now I much more understand, the difference between the generation gap. I mean, in short, that's why 60s, I think, in America, Japan, and the rest of the world, 60s is a turning point. All of a sudden, children began to say the different thing from their parents, or value kind. They have try to have a different value, and because the time they grew up is pretty much different, war and colonization time, and then peace, and not completely peace, but a peace or economic growth, kind of capitalistic world, commercialized world time. And but anyway, even though I felt a generation gap, or I didn't share some value, but I couldn't share my value from parents, but core value, fundamental value as a human is, as I think, is same actually.
Hmm.
That's
Well, I
my
think,
philosophy. Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, and the age gap is absolutely, it definitely affects what we think and how we act and things like that. So I look at my parents now and I think, wow, they're still so innocent, they're just so very simple, and I always said they were boring, and that's kind of okay. So they're happy with their life, and I'm happy with mine, and we just have different things in life that we like, so that's it. But I think, at the end of the day, you can judge for yourself if something is good or bad. The problem comes in when we get to those white lies. Do you know white lies?
Oh, yes, I know. Mm-hmm.
Okay, could you explain that? What a white lie is?
How can I say, kind of,
It's a lie to start with.
but how can I say, lie for good purpose, maybe, or sinful lie or something like that, not serious lie. Yeah, for example, uh, if someone cooked me, and and
Yeah, cooked for you. Mm-hmm.
the person asked me what does it taste, and if even if it's not so tasty, I would say, oh, it's tasty, thank you. Maybe that's a white lie.
That's pretty good. Yes. Oh, that's a white lie. I mean, you're trying not to hurt someone's feelings. You're trying to be,
Yeah.
maybe not 100% honest, but you don't want to be the opposite of nice either.
Right.
So, I completely understand. I would probably do the same thing in that situation, but yeah, white lies are basically lies that you tell someone so their feelings aren't hurt. It's kind of like those times, like when we have a friend come to town and say, "Hey, want to go out?" And like, I don't want to go out tonight. No, and just say, no, sorry, we have to get up early tomorrow. We're not going out tonight. Just so it doesn't hurt their feelings. It's not that we don't want to hang out with them. It's just there's sometimes you just don't want to go out. So, good. Perfect. Well, actually, let's continue because we have a lot to get through. So this might be part 2. Why don't you go ahead and read this for us, okay?
Okay, core values are extremely important in order to form the vision of what you want your organization to represent. The core values you set are fundamental in order to keep the best employees at the company.
Do you have a question? Okay. So basically, in order to have core values, it is very important for a company. So we had talked about it in a family situation, but now let's focus on the business. If your business doesn't have core values, it could be successful, but do you think it's correct? I mean, this is where the morals and your own personal core values come into play. Because if a company is, let's say, stealing money from people, they have products that are overpriced, and things like that, and people say, how can you sleep at night? You're basically stealing this money from people. You're making people pay more. You're, doing these negative things, but their pocket is very happy because it's full of money. So this is why I think core values are important. What's the word? Karma. I believe in karma. Oh no, trustworthy should be one word. Okay. Anyway, so here are some adjectives I've thought of that could describe core values in general. So We have trustworthy, helpful, open-minded, disciplined, with a D, accountability, and dependable. So do you have any questions about these words?
Okay, accountability means the responsibility for the explanation.
It would be like responsibility of, for example, I'm accountable for my classes. Yeah, let's talk about my class schedule. All of the classes that I have for Antinga, I think of. Now, yes, I do get inspiration from the internet to help me, but the classes are my idea. So if I don't have good quality classes that Thomas is looking for, I'm accountable. I'm responsible for that. Okay. Good question. Everything else is okay, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, all right. So this next part, Ken, it's your turn to read again.
Core values define your organization and what you believe. They will affect the appeal of the company to the employees and the external world. The core values should be so apparent that your employees, clients, and customers should see the values in action in each part of the company.
Okay, so take another minute, take a look at this, and then let me know what you think.
Yeah, sometimes, the customer buy not only the product, but also the company's idea or value. Yeah. I'm thinking about the example, but for example, maybe the Apple or, some IT companies. I think, yes, and the Walkman too, since I love music. So the first, it was, it was not only the product, but also they offer the lifestyle of the customer. Walk, walking, listening to music all the time. You know what I mean? Before that, I sit down on the stereo radio and listen to the music, but I've never thought of listening to music while I'm walking. And I realized, it is very comfortable, fun. So maybe also maybe the kind of tabloid kind of thing, they also, offer the lifestyle, new lifestyle by using their gadgets.
Exactly. And I remember this to me reminds me of a situation with, I can't remember which brand of clothing or sports brand it was, but there was a brand that was, having people in, I don't know, Indonesia, China, India, make the clothes for very cheap. And so that's the child labor laws. So it might be okay in that country, but in the United States, it's not. So everyone was like, don't buy these clothes because of the child labor laws and stuff. And so this is where it comes back to the company, is if the owner, okay, is only looking to make money, what's the cheapest way they can make the clothes and with the most amount of money? Well, the brand is going to get them the most amount of money, but the other end is how to produce the clothing very cheaply. And it was to send it to other countries. So, it came back to them, and I think they either changed what they did or something happened. But yeah, it was not good. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. So this goes back to, like I said, the part of how you need to, your company needs to have the core values, not only the person. So not only the CEO in this case. All right. So would you like to read this next part?
Yes. running running a business without core value is similar to a teacher without a syllabus. There would be no base to the company, and therefore it would not last long due to disorganization. So, first, you have to establish your goals, but also core values, as they are a reflection of you and what your company stands for.
Okay.
Maybe what your company.
Uh-huh. Yep. See, this happens even when I proofread and I look at things, but I read so fast. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thank you for correcting that. What do you think about this part?
So I think scary thing is happening nowadays in the world. Actually, some companies, some position doesn't have this kind of core value. Actually, it's happening to America and
Mm-hmm.
Japan and maybe everywhere in the world. Actually, kind of.
Probably. I like
just
that was a very good intonation, Ken. That was very honest. Yes.
they just agitate people using fear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then amazingly, also maybe fake news or lie.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
made up, uh, and they made up the kind of so-called regime administration, also the big corporation as a result.
Mm-hmm.
So even though many people realize that, but still, the power of such people is strong enough to stop it or change it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm.
Like you said, it goes back to the base of the company and it's the core values. Like I said here, if a business doesn't have core values, it's like a teacher without a syllabus. You can just do whatever you want and there's no base. There's really no foundation. So, it's, you can't.
Mm.
It's,
So I I s- I support pretty much agree with globalization, and but as I said at the beginning, every side has a flip side of the coin. Sometimes globalization go very extreme, how can I say, to divest the world, including the environment, our environment. So maybe we need to be careful about that. That such negative side of the globalization.
mm-hmm. Yep. No, I agree with that. It just depends. I mean, I think English could be considered something that has been globalized. I mean, couldn't it? The
Mhm.
language.
Mhm.
So, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, it's
Mhm.
good so that we can communicate, but is it,
Mhm.
I mean, what's right or wrong? Is it great to learn another language? Is it not? Should everyone learn a second language? Should everyone speak English? There's a lot of questions out there that we just
Mhm.
don't know.
Mhm.
It depends on the person. It's just like voting for your political party.
Mhm.
Just because you think something is right doesn't mean that it is correct or incorrect. It's
Mhm.
your opinion, and you have the right to think that way because it's what you want.
Mhm.
So I think things are a little bit more. Not everything is black and white in life. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
that's right. Mhm.
So it's just going to depend on the person and what happens.
Mhm.
So, all right. Well, we've got more to look at here. Are you ready to read some more, or do you want me to read?
Uh, what should I do?
No. I'm just if you don't want to read, I can read. But if you want to read, that's fine too.
Okay.
You
Yes,
can read.
I
I
read.
want you. I prefer
Yeah.
you read. I don't need the practice.
Okay. Okay. So what should you do first? identify them. Think about what ideals your company should have. You should think about the reputation you want your company to have. Then you can develop the correct core values. By having these ideals and beliefs, you can create a reputable company that will be successful.
Okay. So what do you think about this part? Agree, disagree? I mean, I wouldn't expect you to necessarily disagree, but what's your opinion about this? I mean, do you believe this is true or not?
So yeah, but I think to clarify, maybe we need to identify or set the goal to clarify what kind of thing we should do for the company or for ourselves or to the world. Maybe sometimes it happens by product of the company's activities or our activities, but identify then also the one method, one way of to reach them, actually.
Well, do you think that the employees need to have the same core values as maybe the president of the company or the company itself?
So I read the short article about the current economics, and that new type of economics think about humans' emotion, actually. So
Really?
yeah, yes, because emotion is a big vehicle to economic activities of humans as well. So in that theory, how can I say? For example, now that famous hamburger shop, now they offer the comfortable chair because their maybe their product is sales is reducing. So, but in the past, the chair there is a very hard, uncomfortable chair. Yeah. So they don't say, they didn't say, please go away right after you ate it. Not such kind of thing. But
they didn't say it directly.
Such structure itself has a message. You or because of the uncomfortability of the chair, customer voluntarily leaves the shop right after they ate. So in maybe such kind of manipulation happens inside the company or to the customers or such things nowadays.
I agree with you with that. I hadn't really thought of that in the chair situation. So, well, thank you.
Also, in the road, just show that don't go there or don't speed up. It's because some people ignore such board or such suggestion or order. But if the structure of road is very difficult to speed up, drivers speed down naturally. Maybe such kind of thing, yeah, people begin to think about it nowadays.
Yeah. Actually, here in Spain, they've reduced, I think, I can't remember if they're just like country roads, that the speed limit was 100 kilometers per hour. They've reduced it to 90 to help with the accidents. So we'll see what happens, because if you've been driving on that country road or whatever road for X amount of years, I don't think their speed limit is really going to change. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate that they're trying. I think that it's a good idea. I just don't know how, habits are hard to break. So, okay. Well, let's continue on here. I haven't really gotten to any of my phrases that I wanted. So anyway, I'll read this part. So next you can develop a value statement. There's another word and I can't think of it. It's like a phrase that someone lives by. Like, it's not motto, it's not slogan, but I think it has something to do with home. I don't know, but there's another word for this. So a value statement, something that you think about and it represents what you are looking for the company. Okay? So this is similar to your core values, but it's compiled into one sentence. These are what you should think about when creating your value statement. And this should be different for every company, but in general, I'm assuming it would be very similar because you all want the same thing. Okay, good product, good service, and then everyone to work hard and make a lot of money. So the vision for your future, okay, a mission statement. That's probably what it is. Anyway, a mission that defines what you are doing, so it talks about what you're doing. Values that shape your actions, so your core values. Strategies that zero in on your key success approaches, what you are really, truly looking for, the most important part on how to be successful. And goals and action plans that guide your daily, weekly, and monthly actions. So basically, small goals. What do you need to do this week to get to this next step the next week? So those are things you should consider. And here are some of the adjectives I've chosen that we'll talk about now, actually, most of these. So integrity or honesty, empowerment, persistence, determination, equality, and self-discipline. So these are all adjectives that I think are also important for the value statement, but these are also core values. I mean, so it really is a huge mix of both. Okay? So let's dive into this part. I think this one, this one isn't long. So examples of the impact in the real world, core values. All right. So why don't you read about empowerment, okay?
Empowerment means that you aren't afraid to take risks. You are likely to identify problems and take action. Be a problem solver. You are comfortable making decisions without anyone looking over your shoulder. Employees who work towards employment will be very successful down the road.
Okay, so here's my asterisk. So you'll have to answer this. Basically, you should be comfortable making decisions without anyone looking over your shoulder. Actually, I think down here I have the question. Yes. What does it mean to have someone looking over your shoulder?
Maybe without, how can I say, thinking about your boss, or maybe decision, how can I say, without unnecessary control or unnecessary care.
Okay. Yes and no. I mean, this is literally like to have someone looking over your shoulder, someone who's double checking and someone who's looking to make sure that you're doing everything correctly.
Okay.
So with this core value of empowerment, you can say, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this very well. I'm going to do it perfectly so that my boss is happy. And so you don't need anyone behind you saying, hey, you forgot this. Hey, you need to do this. There's nothing like that you're able and you're capable of doing it yourself without anyone else's help. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Now I have more of these phrases coming in here. So, question. Why would someone with the empowerment quality be successful? Why do you think, first?
Because maybe if people has their own idea, or to have a ability to establish their own idea, it could be unique. No other people can do that, can think like that.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Sorry, might not be a common quality, is what you're trying to say. Okay. Could you read this part?
Okay. If you, as an employee, don't need someone breathing down your neck all the time, you are capable of making clear, educated decisions. If an employee doesn't take action, they will wait for instructions and most likely only do what is asked of them. They will not strive to do better or improve much more than where they are now.
Okay. So, first, do you have an opinion? I mean, this is basically just a continuation of the other part. Basically, that with empowerment, you can make these clear, educated decisions. And that's it. If someone doesn't, it's the opposite. Okay. Then I personally think they'll just sit back and wait. No, I wasn't told to do anything yet today. I'll just wait. Nah, I'll just stay here. Like, oh, it's time to leave. Oh, I'm out the door. So like there's certain people that really are proactive and others that are not. So that's what this empowerment quality is. So as you can see, I have another, I don't think I have the question below, but someone breathing down your neck. Do you know what that means? Someone breathing down your neck.
Breathing down your neck. Maybe to be suggested, ordered, everything.
Well, it's very similar to the last one that we saw, that someone's next to you, someone's looking, someone's always kind of right physically next to you, doing, just checking over your work, breathing down your neck. Okay?
Okay.
All right, there's some more interesting ones coming. I'll read this next part. Okay, so transparency is the next quality that we have. Transparency is important in any company, but more so in big companies. With transparency, you can expect to know what is happening at the company in any given moment. In any given moment is in any second, at any time. Okay, you will know and understand the goals, ideas, decisions, financial situation, successes, and failures, which are all important, obviously. This way, you will also hear about the consumer success stories and the employee contributions to the company. So transparency is important because there will be no secrets, no hidden areas. It's a good quality to have as a company, and it will build trust between you, the boss, and the employees and the clients. Okay, so being transparent allows everything to be open. Okay, so if the clients have customers, well, the employees know the answers. If the employees want the answer, the boss has the answer, and there's no secrets. And that's what an honest, good company can do. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. But sadly, some companies, some leader is not like that. So, but basically, I believe this kind of values. Also, it is said uh, uh, former Soviet Union, why they collapsed, because they didn't have a transparency. They established an unrealistic goal, and they how can I say, announced fake results. Yeah. So as a result, they cannot the structure of organization cannot follow the reality bites. That's one analysis, the reason why it collapsed. So in the end, maybe this kind of transparency policy rescue the organization what good bring a good result for the long-term results or even the short-term results as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Transparency is really, I mean, to me, it's the same as honesty. I mean, you should do it. I guess you don't have to be. I have to, but and then of course this next one is integrity. So would you like to read this one?
Integrity should be valued at your company as well, since it implies honesty.
Sorry.
Honesty. Don't forget, honesty is the best policy. Employees from the bottom to the top of the company that believe in being open and truthful will flourish within the company and in life.
Okay, so good. So to be honest will help you at work and it will help you in life because, as I said before, karma. If you believe in karma or not, I'm pretty sure it exists. So, if you're nice to someone, later someone will be nice to you, etc. And so this is the same idea. Honesty is always the best policy. And I have another good paragraph after this. Here we go. Oh, of course, this changed. Okay, one moment. Perfect. Okay, could you read just the first paragraph for now?
Those that don't believe in integrity will not be successful and hopefully will see what being honest can do for them in a company and life. However, if they don't, they won't ever be as successful as they want to be.
Okay, so this goes back to that person I mentioned before. No, I wasn't told what to do yet. Oh, I'll just wait until I'm given instructions. Oh, it's time to leave. Okay, bye. It's those kinds of people that they're not necessarily lying by not doing anything, but at the same time, they could always be doing something. If it's cleaning, if it's organizing, if it's helping someone else, there's a balance to contributing to work or actually just only doing your work. So if you don't contribute in other ways, you might not be seen as a valuable employee and you might be someone who's fired if the company is letting some people go. So what do you think about this? Do you have any comments?
Yeah, so I think this is a quality of good company, but some companies not, or some social organizations not like that, or some leaders not, politicians not, some, not all of them,
Right,
but just some.
Right, of course.
So, so I'm, how can I say? I don't know what's gonna be the end, and so what's happening in the world nowadays is a bit crazy actually. So yeah,
I'm not actually going to comment on that.
Is it emergency?
Next.
It's emergency. Should collect the budget.
Right. No, I
Investment of Congress.
I don't think these core values apply to any politician.
So, but maybe in the end, I think such kind of society or leader to manipulate people using fear or fake lie. In the end, they cannot be successful. I guess in the long run.
Because it always comes back. If it doesn't matter how many years later, there's a video out of Trump saying, I don't know, in the 1990s, I think, oh, if I were to run for president, I would run for the Republicans because they're stupid. He would run as the Republican candidate. because Republicans are stupid. Okay, cool. Well, you did that, and you're president now. So it came back. So anyway, next topic. Let's read this one, please. This paragraph. We're almost done.
Organizational values are another very important part of teamwork. Employees will often be asked to work in teams, develop products by teams, and think of new ideas, products, etc. in teams. Having an organized team company will allow the boss to have access to anything at any moment, which builds trust.
So we have a little bit of transparency in here as well. If the company is organized, the teams are organized, departments are organized, and the boss says, hey, I need a file from this day, this year, and they can find it because it's there. And so then this builds trust, really is the most important. I know we don't have a lot of time left. I do want to finish. It's just this last part. So would you just read this?
Okay.
Sorry, please.
Okay. Additionally, because the organization values relationships and a cohesive approach to working together with employees, it will sponsor employee activities and events for employees and their families. And finally, responsibility is the final value. Without responsibility and accountability, employees might blame others for mistakes. It's a lot easier to point your finger at someone else than to be honest and tell the truth. We are all humans, we make mistakes, and we will have to face up sometimes. Sure, it might be embarrassing, but in the end, it is the best option. Remember, lying is easier than telling the truth, so it should also build trust. Don't beat around the bush.
I think we said this a couple times. That's why I wanted to add that today. So thanks. The information you read was, this last part is really what I wanted to get to. Now, this one. To point your finger at someone else is to blame someone else. Okay, it's you do not take accountability for an action. And to fess up means to confess. Okay, we have to confess that I made a mistake. It might not be the end of the world, but your boss will definitely appreciate that a lot more than say, I don't know who did this. Whoever did this yesterday is the person who was at fault, Well, if you know you did it yesterday, then just, I'm really sorry. So, like I said, we're all adults. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. So, okay, core values. Well, good. I mean, I'm surprised we kind of got through all of it. I know we went quite quickly towards the end there. But in general, good, right? I mean, we understand core values, what they are, the value, the mission statement, so whew. That was a lot of work, Ken. Thanks for reading all of that today. Just before, we're at the end of class, so all I'm going to say for now is that on Monday we'll be talking about icebreakers, which can be used for work or for everyday life or class even. And then the other one, we'll be doing tongue twisters, since it's been a very long time since we've worked on tongue twisters in class, okay? So if you're the only one on Wednesday, you are going to have a lot to read. Okay? So call your friends for Wednesday. Until then, that's it. So really, thanks so much, Ken. You did a lot of reading today. Very good. Have a great weekend, and everyone else too. And I will see you on Monday.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.